What it do, Boston? I said, what it do, Boston? I want to tell y'all something. I came here from Toronto. Your call was so loud that I came here from another country to be here today. And people call me future because that's exactly what we are fighting for today.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Because I now live in the States, and I gotta tell you, I chose the worst possible time to do it until I see y'all here today. So, I want to tell you a little bit about why we're here. In 2009, after the election of the first black president here, something happened in this country. A lot of white nationalists, white supremacists, KKK, neo-Confederate, neo-Nazi people started to jump online, and they started to organize because they couldn't stand the idea that someone that looked like me could lead this country.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
And when that happened, the FBI got a report together, and they told everybody in that White House that the greatest threat to this country, the greatest domestic threat to this country was right-wing extremism. That's what they said. That was all the way in 2009. Here we are in 2017, and I don't want to hear the question of how did we get here? Because the reality is that we have always been here. Now we can say that there are white supremacists and that there are white nationalists in the White House, and we are correct. But the truth is that this system existed long before them. Long before them. And so, what we do know is since they have been growing together, these alt-right, these white supremacists, they have been growing together since 2009. We know that they currently have a president in the White House that emboldens them. They grew in numbers beforehand, but now they've grown in power, and now we have to grow even bigger than them. We have to remind them that we are the majority. We are the majority. We are the majority. And so while our target today and on the other days might be those sharks, it might be those sharks that call themselves white supremacists, but the reality is we're looking to change the ocean that is white supremacy in this country. That is our real target. And so, when the president fails to condemn white supremacy, and if anybody you know fails to condemn white supremacy, remember this: if you don't condemn it, you condone it. There can be no neutrality in the face of hate. So when you march today, remember that they set up a blueprint in Charlottesville. They sent out a call. Those alt-right, those white supremacists, those KKK, they set out a blueprint to every white nationalist around the world. They said, this is what you do. We have to create violence. We have to create chaos. Shout out to Heather Heyer, 32-year-old paralegal who gave her life. Shout out to those 29 people who were injured that day. They know what the price of freedom is. And so, today, we're doing something bigger than a march.
That's right.
We're doing something larger than a protest. We're setting up our own blueprint.
Oh, yeah. Boston
is ground zero. Boston is going to set up the blueprint for what resistance looks like around the country and around the world. So as you march today, remember that you're just not marching for yourselves. You're not just marching for this community. You're marching for every friggin' queer, every disabled person, every sex working person, every immigrant, every Muslim, every black person, every Latinx person. You're marching for everyone. Everyone against hate. So today, we're in the thousands, but we're gonna make everyone in this field, in the streets, feel like we're marching and we're millions of people. I want you to sound out a call so loud that people across the world hear it. Every time that you cheer, every time that you chant, you are doing it so that all those white nationalists in Europe hear you. You're doing it so all the white supremacists in Brazil hear you. You're doing it so everyone around the world hears you. Who needs a president when we have the people? And so today, y'all, right now, I'm here with Black Lives Matter, right? We have our Movement for Black Lives national policy. If you're wondering what needs to happen next, if you're looking for what resistance looks like now, check out the Movement for Black Lives website. All those who said, well, Black Lives Matter just out on the street, but we don't actually have a policy, we actually do. It looks like reparations, it looks like economic justice, it looks like divesting from the police and reinvesting in communities. And so, now that we understand that our job is to make it to sound like we are the millions, our job is to motivate and inspire the millions. I want you to remember what we're fighting for, because I think, you know, when a president says the alt-left, when a president can just invent something and they say, well, you know, we're against Antifa, they're violent people. All I know is white supremacists took a life and Antifa protected them. So protect each other. Protect each other. Have each other's back today. Have each other's back today and tomorrow and every goddamn day that we are out here. Remember this. We will not be out-organized by white supremacy. Tell me that again. We will not be out-organized by white supremacy. We will not be out-organized by white supremacy. We will not stand for anti-Semitism. We will not stand for homophobia. We will not stand for transphobia. We are fighting for Black lives. We are fighting for life. When you march today, make sure everyone around the world hears you today.